Now we want to look at some of the new Sableon brushes. They're going to be coming in a beautiful brown handle with gold ferrules, and the fiber in them is a dark brown fiber. We're calling it Sableon. Now we've looked at Taklon brushes together before. The Taklon brush has a soft touch. The Sableon brush has a firmer touch. Those of you who live where it's very hot and dry, or some of your cold areas in the winter are very dry, you may prefer the Sableon brush because it will move the paint longer. So if the paint is starting to dry and is a little stiffer, it will move the paint longer. Now, if you are wanting into your stroke work and maybe highlights on a pear or a daisy, if you're wanting to get kind of a meaty texture to your stroke, this brush is going to give you a meatier texture than a soft brush. Let's look first at a round. And this is a number 6 Sableon round. Now I stress that because here is a 3 in the Taklon, and you can see that they are very nearly the same size. So the Sableon brushes are going to run a little smaller. Let's take some raw sienna, some water, and I'm going to load in a little heavier paint. Now, see this edge? So I'm getting a little more texture to the stroke very easily with an easy load. A little heavier use of paint. There is some ridging there. So if you have like some drier paint on your palette and you're wanting to get a little more texture into your stroke work, you might want to look at the Sableon brushes. You can still get a very fine tail, a lovely rounded head to the stroke. You have a lovely control of the paint in your brush. Being a little stiffer, the brush responds well, extremely well, to the pressure of your hand. And let's see if I can find a little bit thicker. There's a nice, see how thick this paint is right here? I don't know if you can see, but there is lovely texture in this stroke. So that if you're wanting to get lovely texture, if you're wanting to get a little dry brushing, see how that will pull? Look at that pretty dry brushing. Where, yes, you can get it a little bit with a Taklon, but it is far easier to pull heavy, drier paint. Now these are strokes, but look how you're getting that little bit of granulation. Isn't that kind of pretty? You know, if you were doing, say, a little bird, look how you could use that granulation to your advantage. So that's a Taklon, and I mean a Sableon, and that is coming in rounds and liners, filberts. There is also a, here's a little one, and it goes clear down. Here's an aught, and it goes down to a double aught. I think this is the double aught. Now let me show you the double aught. So if you've been having trouble seeing very fine features, let me come in closer so you can watch the brush. If you've had trouble seeing little eyes, very fine features, look how this this is the little double aught. Comes in an aught. And the other sizes too. So the main thing I would encourage you to think about when you look at the Sableons is the firmer touch. The firmer touch, the wonderful points that the brushes have, even in the tiniest sizes. And you'll see rounds, you'll see liners, And eventually we've got a rake coming for furring techniques, and filberts and oval glazes. The first brushes in, I do believe, are rounds and filberts.